A couple comments about Tim Black. Tim Black about he's mad. Tim Black is salty. He's mad as fuck about Nina Turner losing, and really we all should be pretty pissed off. But he's kind of having a meltdown. So frankly, Tim Black, take a week or a year or whatever, mourn the loss. Now the left, the media on the left, they did fail Nina Turner. Nina Turner got Joe Biden. Nina Turner got Eric Adams. You got the establishment. You got the conservative that won the damn race, and not the actual progressive. And I didn't do a single story on her, so, she's in Ohio, but, I talked about New Mexico and India Walton, Pedro Castillo, so, I did support Nina Turner. I did want her to win, so I could have done more. So I'm sorry. I could have promoted her more than what I did. I support her. I love Bernie, so, by default, I love Nina Turner. Now, the empire struck back, right? Unfortunately, you can always pay one half of the poor people to attack the other half of the poor people, and that's Jay Gould. So, Nina Turner, she got Joe Biden. She got Eric Adams. She got the empire struck back. And sometimes the voters the Democratic voters are in favor of the conservative Democrat and not the liberal Democrat. So Nina Turner, she said that voting for Joe Biden was like eating half a bowl of shit. That's descriptive and accurate. It's pretty vulgar, nasty image to think about. Hey, here's a half a bowl of shit. Well, got to do it for country. Do you? No, you don't. And then it's Ohio. Is this a big shocker? Right-wing fucking Ohio. They killed the, Shawnee Mingo Wyandotte. They killed Tecumseh. Ohio helped to kill Tecumseh. Mingo, Shawnee, Wyandotte, right-wing fucking Ohio, the Nazi Confederate shit state, the shithole Ohio state. Get the fuck out of here. Now, Nina Turner herself, maybe, her abrasive personality, is she, does she have universal appeal? I kind of don't like her. She's an asshole. She's a pit bull on Bernie Sanders' side. So she's our asshole, right? She's our pit bull. But does that have universal appeal? I just saw this crazy Karen where she's just this Christian and she's just like, listen here, bitch. Listen here, you piece of shit motherfucker. I'm trying to save your life. Have you heard about Jesus Christ, your one and only Savior? I'm trying to save your life. So she's, all fucking gung-ho about, whatever, Jesus and this and that. But if you're a Christian, do you like that? Do you like that kind of shit? I'm not for sure if there's universal appeal. And like I said, I kind of don't like her. There's two things I want. I want Nina Turner to redo this race, only this time be herself. Perhaps she could have won if she was herself. Now, I think her instincts was correct for her not to be so brazen, for her not to be so bombastic and in your face. But unfortunately, she ran so damn, far to the right that she didn't do any of the things that, we liked about her. So she didn't encourage new people to get into the race, to campaign. She wasn't talking to her base. You have, fucking Trump, he's a piece of shit, but one thing about Trump is that he talks to his base. The people that love him, he loves them back. But unfortunately, the progressives who love Nina Turner did not embrace her base. Instead, Nina Turner's entire campaign was chucking her base under the bus during the campaign. And she could have really pounded the pavement for radicalism. We need radical change. Yeah, I'm a radical. But here's my proposals. I want this, that, and this. So Nina Turner, her race was, she was a politician. She was working on being a politician. And I don't understand, the dynamic between how do you make yourself, likable. You want to be all smiles and shit, but when tragedy happens, you can't be smiling when that shit happens. So Nina Turner runs away from everything that makes her great. And I would have voted for Nina Turner hoping that she would have, been the same Bernie Sanders pit bull that I have, grown to know and love. Because if somebody was talking shit about Bernie back, during his presidential election, Nina Turner would have been in your goddamn face, ripping you a fucking new one. So, she's working on being a politician. There's two things that I want to happen. I kind of want her to run a race as herself. Let Nina Turner be Nina Turner. Let her be her crappy self. Does anybody remember those ads where, on YouTube where she's like, "Hi, I'm Nina Turner, and I'm trying to fight for you out here." And she, had name recognition. She had a ton of fundraising, ton of money. She said it was her race to lose. Now, Tim Black makes a good point that, it's everybody's fault, right? Nina Turner's to blame, but Nina Turner needs to have an introspection, and everybody that loved Nina Turner, could Nina Turner have done better? We all could have done better. And I think when it comes to the media on the left, the media on the left needs to cover every single progressive and socialist candidate in national races. Really, any progressive and socialist candidate anywhere and everywhere. And other revolutionary actions. We should cover constitutional conventions, too. So a lot of people just, want to criticize electoralism. I think they just like to say, I don't like electoralism. See, electoralism. But if you were to actually attempt electoralism, you would run for office. You would pick a good person that you like, and you would run them for office. You would look at the policies of your reps, and you would call them up and say, hey, how come you're not doing the things that I want you to do? That's if you're paying attention. That's if you're, a good citizen. Let's listen to some Briahna Joy Gray.
There's a new member.
And Kim Iverson, Ryan Grimson, Rising. All these people took Rising away from
woman. The only, I think,
Sagar
I spoke to yesterday. Remember that Cleveland is a minority city, and it is the largest poor city in America. I spoke to one white woman who I perceived to be more upper middle class, who said explicitly, I don't want to vote for Senator Turner because she reminds me of the Squad, and I think it's inappropriate for the Squad to be oppositional to the Democratic Party. I think they just need to pass the infrastructure bill and stop trying to hold it up over issues like climate. I asked her if climate was a priority for her, and she says, sure, I care about climate, but the Democrats are just going to get it done when they're going to get it done, and right now we need to do something, and the something is the infrastructure bill, and she was willing to settle for whatever it was in the abstract name of unity. So what it seems to me from my perspective is that there is a much bigger project that needs to be done, a bigger re-education project about what it means to be a Democrat, how exactly any legislation gets passed, how it is that the right has been able to use the exact strategy that the left is starting to deploy now to push for more concessions from the party and enable it to drag to a more rightward direction. And that if there's ever going to be any counterbalance and the Democrats actually want to deliver for their constituents instead of just being a placeholder for people to land who aren't Republican and aren't Trump voters, they're going to have to embrace a certain kind of adversarial politics. One woman I spoke to at length and who I interviewed for yesterday's Bad Days podcast is someone who comes from the freedom fighting tradition of the Black community. And she was really bristling at the idea that it was seen as a negative to be opposed to the Democratic Party, because when she was growing up, she says, they understood that Martin Luther King and all the rest, their job was to push the Democratic Party, to make it its best, to antagonize and go up against the Democratic Party in a two-party system, neither of whom had any demonstrated history or particularized interest in fighting for the interests of Black people or any other marginalized group. Notably, obviously, the Poor People's Campaign was the focus of the movement right before Martin Luther King's assassination. And that is a legacy